hospital pharmacist. I've spent years making sure other people's medications are safe, correct, and life-saving. But for years, I never once sat down and made sure my own financial life was safe, correct, and sustainable. This is episode 1 of a series where I document my actual journey to financial independence. As a healthcare worker, starting later than I should have, with real numbers, real mistakes, and no pretending I have it all figured out. Let's start with the uncomfortable math. Healthcare work, especially in a hospital, doesn't pay proportionally to the hours it demands. When I break my income down per actual hour worked, including the extra time that never shows up on a pay slip, it's honestly humbling. But here's the thing, I love this job. It's meaningful in a way that's hard to explain, unless you've stood in a ward and known that the work you did mattered to someone's life that day. This series isn't about resenting that. It's about a simple realization. Meaningful work and financial security aren't opposites. But for people like us, financial security doesn't happen by accident. It has to be built deliberately, because our income alone won't do the heavy lifting the way it might in higher paying, lower purpose careers. Now, the part that's harder to say on camera. I didn't make good financial decisions in my 20s. As my income grew, so did my lifestyle. A little more each year, quietly, the way it does for most people. Better food, better things, more convenience. None of it felt reckless in the moment. That's the trap of lifestyle inflation. It never feels like one big bad decision. It's 100 small I've earned these decisions that add up to a decade of lost compounding. I'm not going to pretend I tracked every dollar wrong. I'm also not going to pretend I have some redemption arc where I actually was secretly smart the whole time. I wasn't. I'm starting this seriously later than a lot of the fire content you'll find online, made by people who started optimizing at 22. I'm starting in my 30s instead. Here's what I want to say clearly, because I think a lot of healthcare workers watching this feel the same way I did for years. It's easy to look at your position, the late start, the modest pay per hour, the demanding hours that leave little time to even think about this, and conclude that fire just isn't realistic for people like us. I don't think that's true. I think it's harder and slower, and it requires more deliberate structure than it would for someone with a higher income or an earlier start. But harder isn't the same as impossible. Late is still earlier than never. And every year I delay starting is a year of compounding I don't get back, which is exactly why this is happening now, on camera, instead of quietly and privately 5 more years from now. This isn't a how I retired at 35 video. I haven't retired. I don't know yet if or when I will. What this series will be: 1. My actual numbers, tracked honestly, episode by episode 2. The specific decisions healthcare workers in Singapore have to think about, that generic fire content doesn't cover. 3. The mistakes as they happen, not just the wins for. An open invitation. If you're a healthcare worker who's felt like fire wasn't built for people like us, this is for you too. If you're a nurse, a pharmacist, an allied health worker, a doctor, anyone who gives your hours to a job that matters, but has quietly wondered whether your own future is being taken care of the same way, subscribe and follow this journey with me. Next episode, I'm laying out the real numbers: income, savings, net worth, everything. No filter. See you in episode 2.